Welcome back, my wonderful YouTube family. How are you doing today? Hope you're safe and well. And today we are going to bring back a wee bit of a game review. We haven't done one for a while. It's been quite a while actually. And yeah, we're going open world Ubisoft Immortals FENYX Rising. I had a very good chance to look at this. Ubisoft have just put together a demo for us, the wonderful people at Ubisoft, on all platforms. So I thought I'd check it out and report back to all you wonderful people and see what I thought. So guys, if you want to keep up with everything on the channel, make sure you hit the Twitter board, the whatever it is on Twitter thing. Just follow me over there. If you want to keep up to date with all the content on the channel, hit the red button if you haven't already and hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Without further ado, let's do it! So, Immortals FENYX Rising, or Gods and Monsters as it was originally known, is an action-adventure video game made by Ubisoft Quebec. And guys, it is a pretty nice little game. It starts with the narration between Prometheus and Zeus, the two Greek gods, and their interaction can be very, very humorous and quite funny at times. In fact, they interject into the gameplay every so often and make some really, really fun and hilarious choices for Fenix, who is our hero in the storyline. And she is on her way to save her brother, who's been turned to stone, becoming embroiled with the evil Typhoon. Oh, all sounds very, very mysterious and, yeah, quite fun. And it's certainly, this game is a very, very fun game. I did find it, I had a lot of fun with it. I was very, very surprised by this game. I kind of looked at it and I looked at the way it was kind of drawn and laid out, and I was kind of on the fence whether I wanted to play it or not. I'm so glad I did, because it is such a lovely little game and very unexpected how good it is. So you play from the third person perspective, and you can customize a few things like your gender and your voice and a little bit of your appearance, but not too much. You're really not going to get the kind of Assassin's Creed cyberpunk, except all that kind of character customization experience in this game. It's very limited. But that doesn't really detract from the storyline. The way the game plays, I don't think you really need to have a customized character as such, although it would be nice. And the game is pretty large as far as an open world game goes, and has kind of 7 distinct regions, and all are inspired by the Greek gods. So your player character is has a companion bird named Phosphor, or something like that. I think that's, I probably butchered that name, Phosphor. And you can transverse through the world. That's easy for you to say. In a number of ways, and we'll show you as we go through how that all works. But essentially, you can do pretty much everything you can do in Assassin's Creed. Although I must say the climbing in this game is a little bit different, and you have basically a stamina bar. Now, I must admit I found that a little bit annoying, because especially for very high cliffs, you have to keep stopping and letting your stamina regenerate. And I'm sure as you go through the game and you upgrade your character, that will change. But in the brief look that I had at this game, certainly that was something that I didn't really understand why they put it in there. But certainly, as you can see, as we traverse up this cliff here, if you stop at certain points, then your adrenaline bar, your stamina bar, whatever you want to call it, fills up pretty quickly, and you're able to go on your way. It just slows you down a little bit, and I'm not a fan of that in games. However, you could ride a mount. You have wings that you can fly with, and certainly I get 2 sets of wings, and couldn't figure out how the second set worked. I didn't actually spend a lot of time playing around with that. And yeah, that then gives you a platform for just exploring and seeing what the open world has to offer you. I've got to say the combat in this game is very, very fun, and if you're playing any of the recent Assassin's Creeds like Origins, Odyssey, or the most recent Valhalla, the combat's going to be very, very familiar to you. It's certainly, you have a bow, a sword and an axe that you can use, and obviously use your left, right bumpers and your right trigger to do all that. So it's very, very familiar. The combat is extremely smooth. I didn't have any issues in getting things to work. You also have you can boost your combat with various button combinations, and again they've kept this to your bumpers and your triggers, which is quite nice, and I do like that a lot. And you're going to have plenty of a big variety of enemies to tackle, and so all in all, the combat is very nice. The enemies are good, and not overly, I wouldn't say they're overly difficult, to say the least, but certainly you have to employ different strategies for different enemies, which is something that you would expect in any kind of open world game, and like I said, there is a good variety of them. This uses the same engine as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and healing and regaining your stamina is pretty quick and easy. You use your D-pad, and certainly you press to the left to regain health, right to regain stamina. But it is a bit strange because it's not a one-hit regeneration. You can do it in sections, or I think if you hold the button down, it will give you a one-hit regeneration, but that did take a little bit of getting used to, and you have to regain a little bit of health, but it is there, and you're given a quite generous amount of kits that you can have there. I think up to 10 health kits. You have to obviously go out and collect resources from the world and make potions to fill each of those slots, and there's also, I think, potions that will give you boosts on combat and defense as well. So you get, it's nice, easy system, not too hard to get your head around, and very easy to access on the controller. On to the puzzles. The puzzles in this game are pretty fun, but I've got to say, compared to something like a Tomb Raider or an Assassin's Creed, they aren't overly complicated. They're They don't take too much brain power, which is sort of quite nice. I think to add puzzles to the game, give it another dimension, but they haven't made them overly hard, so you're not getting too frustrated with them, and you can pretty much figure them out pretty quickly and get on with the game. So there's nothing worse than having these puzzles sometimes in games that are just, you're scratching your head and you're hitting Google and you're doing all kinds of things to try and solve how to get past them. So that's not the case in this game. The puzzles are fun, they're easy to fit, easy to solve, and on we go with the game, and you get a few rewards on the way through. And as you can see, you have to use some of your abilities to solve some of these puzzles, but not overly complex, and I know a lot of people are a little bit disappointed that the puzzles aren't a little bit more complex in this game, but for me personally, I don't really mind it. As far as picking up new gear goes, I had a ton of opportunities in the space of an hour to pick up a whole lot of different new weapons, new armour, new wings, all kinds of stuff in the world. So yeah, you're going to come across gear pretty frequently. There is always a pro and con to the gear you're going to pick up, and if you're going to equip it, and is it better than what you've got, but that's pretty normal for this type of game style. And yeah, you just got to sit and think through if it is going to give you a boost. There is a skill tree, and you obviously will earn skill points as you go through the game. Unfortunately, with the demo, I wasn't able to boost any of my skill points. I'll have a good look at that, so I can't really comment on how the skill tree works. It looks a fairly standard kind of skill tree for any kind of open world game. And that's about it, guys. There isn't really too much else to let you know. I must admit, I had a heck of a lot of fun playing this demo. Thanks to Ubisoft. It is available on all platforms, so if you want to have a further look at it, download it. It's not that big. It's probably about 3 or 4 gig. The demo, and it's a lot of fun just to play around with. You can reset it once you go through. It takes you about an hour to get through it, and then you can reset it and play around with it. I'm probably going to do a little bit more exploring on the game open world now that I've reset the demo, and see what else I can find. If you want to see some gameplay from with the demo, I recorded the whole hour, so if you want to see that on the channel, leave some comments down below. I'd certainly recommend, if you're looking for a fun kind of little open world adventure and you've finished games and you're looking for something to buy, certainly give this a look. The demo will help, I guess, with your decision making as well. And yeah, I'd highly recommend it. I will be buying this at some point. I've got a bit of a back catalogue of games, I'm not going to lie, that I've got to start, but and I'm in the middle of Assassin's Creed Valhalla at the moment, which is taking up a lot of playtime, and I'm absolutely loving, guys. But yeah, highly recommend Immortals Fenyx Rising. Give it a look. If you have already got it, I'd love to hear what you think about the game. And that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the game review. We haven't done one for a while, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity. If you want to keep up with everything on the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. And if you enjoyed this and it did give you a kind of view into a new game, a thumbs up or a like rating is always appreciated. It really does help the channel. We're pushing towards 1,000 subscribers. I'm really trying to aggressively get there so that we can start to monetize the channel and get some money for new games that I can bring you. So guys, thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on G4XP. See ya!